Hello there, this is Red Joy, and this is our continued series on my favorite arcane spells for Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition. This is level 8. Level 8 is a huge power spike for the game. We saw level 7 last week, had some pretty good spells with Project Image and Mordenkainen's Sword, but now we're going to get some updated versions of those, and we're going to also get some very, very, very powerful, I would say very powerful damage spell, and several utility spells that will come in handy. So, but before I start, I do want to give a shout out to both WestJ and to Devaorn. They put together spell guides. They're in the description below. They go through every single spell, which ones you want to pick up, which ones you don't want to pick up. What we're doing today is we're just going to cover 3 of my favorite spells, as well as a couple of honorable mentions that I'm going to discuss shortly. But if you want to get a full rundown of all the spells, please check out those guides. Without further ado, let's chat real quick about the 2 honorable mentions I have for this spell level. They are Incendiary Cloud, which is a scaling area of effect fire spell that does a pretty large amount of damage once you get up to higher levels, and can be great for taking care of trolls and others that are more, I would say, fire vulnerable. And the other is Pierce Shield, which is a nice job of breaking through enemy spellcasters' defenses. It's good for having in the back pocket when you need to take care of mages that you know that are coming up. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start talking about our level 8 spells. So the first spell I want to talk about is Spell Trigger. Spell Trigger allows for the wizard to store a magical spell that will fire off, and all spells will be 6th level or lower. This allows it to store 3 spells. This is the biggest in the stored spells, fire them off in once bracket. So again, you get up to level 6 spells. I mean, at this point, the world is your oyster. You have a phenomenal bunch of spells that you can cast that can do some pretty awesome things. So you can, of course, do protection from magical weapons. You could do create 3 skeletons if you really wanted to. Launch off a bunch of Malicens. I mean, really, this is just a very, very powerful spell. You could tell that I kind of have a favoritism towards these spells, because they do a nice job of giving you control of the battlefield. So if I were to, let's say, put that in there, and then put this, and let's go with Skull Trap, right? If I pop those in there, then when I go face off against some enemies that we're going to face off against in a couple of seconds, then those are ready to go, and I'm going to be able to trigger that off, and I'll be a happy camper. Second spell that I like to take is Simulacrum. Simulacrum is another duplication spell that's an illusion duplication. It creates a powerful ally that's 60% of the caster's level, which means that it's not going to be as spellcaster powerful as the spellcaster itself or as a Project Image would be. However, what it is it's an illusion that can attack and do just as much damage to an opponent as the fighter can. As the main caster can. So let's say you have a fighter mage and you want to have an additional summon there to attract all the baddies. They could do so, and unfortunately, just like Project Image, it doesn't get its full abilities, but what it will get is it will get the ability to cast 60% of the spells desired. So we can pop that on, and we can summon, of course, some other things to help us out. I think I ran out of stone skins, so no stone skins for the illusion. But if we were to send this in, it will
Careful now. My trap is set. Nothing to it.
It can do all sorts of things, and it will attract the enemies it will attract the enemies and it can fight back. Now, of course, if you have a normal mage, that's not exactly the wisest idea. But that's why you have your caster back here to do things like, oh, I don't know, a spell trigger. And that's where we come across our favorite spell for level 8. You know it, you love it, it's Horrid Wilting. Ali Dazim's Horrid Wilting will evaporate the moisture from the bodies of any living creature, dealing 1d8 damage per level. This is magic damage. Unlike Incendiary Cloud, which is fire damage, magic damage will go through a lot of things. This is the damage spell. This is the reason why I will be very reluctant to play as an illusionist, because illusionists really miss out. This is a necromancy spell, and it will basically suck out the water from any living thing. So when we use it, not to mention, it's also party friendly. So you could toss this in the middle of your combat and not have to worry about your friends and comrades getting themselves killed. Now, I'm not sure why this gentleman here is not being affected, but let's check and see, make sure. Yep. There we go. And as you see, you can save your favorite simulacrum from any damage. Really, truly, I mean, you will be using Ali Dazim's Horrid Wilting through the rest of the game. Right? Once you get to a certain point, because you're doing a huge amount of damage. You're doing, let me see here, you're doing 100 damage, close to 100 damage. If they save, it's half of that. And that's why it's a good idea to lower their saves beforehand. But again, this is huge, absolutely huge amounts of damage. And this is a level 23 character. This is an end game spell, and it scales so incredibly well. Honestly, this is the damage spell that you should be taking. This is the reason why, even though necromancers are seriously hurt by missing out on things like simulacrum and mirror image, this is the trade-off that they get. And considering it's already at a -2 penalty to save against getting that full damage, you're guaranteed to do quite a bit to your enemies. And when you're facing off in the end game and you want to just do a launcher that fires 3 of these off at an enemy horde and not have to worry about your party members being affected, this is what you do. So really a fantastic, fantastic spell. I can't speak highly enough about it. And the others who critique this spell, their descriptions are their spell lists are in the description below. They agreed, right? This is the damage spell that you take if you want to make sure you dominate a battlefield with full damage. So I really do hope you've enjoyed the series so far. If you do, please leave the video a like, comment, subscribe. Please check out those other spell guides below. They put a lot of work into them, far more work than I'm putting into this, but don't tell them that I said that. But thank you guys so much for watching. Take care and good luck. We're all counting on you.